right, here is a question from Edgar in Kristen Zach's first grade class. What do you do for fun? I have a lot of hobbies. I think it's really important to have a lot of different things outside of what you do. I mean, a lot of them can be artistically inclined. Like, I'm an artist, but I don't want to sit at my desk painting pictures all day. I like to, spread my wings and try other things. I think it's very important to be well-rounded and have a knowledge of all kinds of things. So I'm going to go through this very long list of things that I like to do. So first, I love playing video games. When I was a kid, the very first Atari 2600 came out when I was 5 years old. And so, I'm that old dinosaur that loved video games when they first came out. And, the graphics were just like little boxes and things like that. And I mean, you kids, if you saw these graphics, like you would hurl, you would be disgusted by them. But, I grew up an entire lifetime, playing video games. And as video games got more complicated, they started telling more complex stories, and I love them. Another hobby of mine, I love watching movies. I'm always watching all kinds of movies and TV shows. I always just love a really good story. Now it's funny because my wife, she only likes to watch comedies because she wants to be in a good mood. I'm the kind of person that will watch anything because I just want to feel. I just want to feel an emotion. I could go into a movie saying this movie's going to make me cry, but it's going to feel so good to cry. Or I could go into a movie and say, oh, this movie's going to make me laugh. Or I can say, oh, this action movie is going to really psych me up and get me really, excited and pumped up. I like watching how other people weave stories, and those kind of things inspire me to tell other stories as well. I also like to read books. One of my favorite writers is David Sedaris. One of my favorite books is Me Talk Pretty One Day. I'm a big fan of satire. I'm a runner. I exercise a lot. I ran the LA Marathon for the first time last year. That took a lot of time to train, and then to run 26 miles, that takes about 5 hours. So as much as I say I like to run, I also don't like to be in a state of mind where I'm reminded that I am running. So a lot of the times I'll have headphones on while I'm running, and I'll listen to podcasts. I like listening to podcasts, or I'll listen to audiobooks, or I'll listen to music. I also like to cook, and that was something that my mom taught me. So I'm Thai American, and my mom has all these fantastic Thai recipes. So I learned how to cook some Thai food. But my wife has very finicky taste, so I do a lot of pasta. But I'm always interested in trying new recipes. I always wanted to make a really nice fried chicken, so I'll scour all these recipes to find the right fried chicken recipe. I taught myself how to make pickles. Taught myself how to bake bread. One of my greatest passions is coffee. So much so that I actually roast my own coffee in my basement. You start out with a green bean, and then you put it in a coffee roaster. 6-7 minutes later, you've got this beautiful roast. You learn how to grind it. You steep it in the right temperature of water, things like that. I also like to build furniture. I have a wood shop in the basement, and so a lot of the times, this is something that a lot of people don't see because I don't post on social media. But I like to build tables and chairs. Because when I went to art school, I went to a great art design school, and there used to be an industrial design department, and you would see these people building these beautiful chairs and beautiful tables and bookshelves and things like that. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my gosh, like I would just love to have a piece of furniture that I could use that I knew that I built. And so, I set up a wood shop in my basement. And so we don't have a whole lot of great woods here in California. So most of the work I do is with plywood. But that is definitely something that I like to do, among other things. I have a whole bunch of hobbies. I'm always continuing to try to create more hobbies. Like I'm trying to teach myself how to play ukulele, but having 10, 12 hobbies, it's really hard to, get really good at playing a ukulele. I built a ukulele out of cardboard, one year, and that was something that I learned. I really I understood how to use the instrument just from building it. And I mean, really, I guess my real hobby is I just like to have knowledge of all kinds of things. Like, I'm inspired to do a lot of things. One last thing, I love to travel. I just recently went to London. I was a huge fan I'm a huge fan of English soccer. I'm a huge Manchester United fan. So yeah, I have all kinds of different